Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match on the map that all glitters. I'm starting in the top left position playing as the Soviets. Now this is one of the most common maps, I'm sure most people who play Red Alert will know this one. What happens is each player starts in their own starting position and the rest of the map is completely covered in ore. I've also done a few videos before on this map. And I'm playing as the Soviets, which is the preferred choice. I think it's because you tend to go multi-MCV on this map. And with Soviets, you get Tesla coils, which are very, very strong. And also, when you have big, massive tank battles, I think heavy tanks are probably the preferred choice. Now, we are starting on a 5k ore start, which is why you're seeing something I'll never do in any other starts, where I go for a second ore refinery before I even get my first war factory down. If I do go for my first war factory straight away, what happens is I either have to stop building structures, or then I'll get run out of ore and there'll be a time lag. So I do think this start is a better start. And now that I've built that ore refinery, I'm going to start building my first war factory. And what I'm trying to do at the moment is just get a bit of map vision. When you start with a 5k ore start, you have to be really careful with the number of infantry you build. So you can see, I think I only built 5 infantry. I'm also getting rid of that ore refinery because I don't want my ore truck travelling to the back when it could be travelling to the ore refinery at the front. And now I get my first war factory down. And what I can do is I can actually go for double war factory when I do this start. So we're going to see how this works. And what you need to do is you also need to micro your ore trucks. And that's because clearing ore is really important on this map. You need to do this so you have space to place your buildings, especially your ore refineries, because you always want to make sure you're building your ore refineries out further onto the ore. You don't want them in the back of your base. Obviously that first one I built had to be in the back of my base because I didn't have time to clear any ore, but for the next ore refinery I'm going to build, you can see I'm getting a nice clear patch there, and that's going to allow me to place that structure right on the ore. And then we'll just be keeping on building out from there. So yeah, I'm getting a real strong economy first of all. And because I'm starting in the top left position, that's probably actually the best position to start on this map, just because of the orientation of your ore refineries onto the ore. And also the worst positions on the map are the middle positions, because there are 6 players, so we're not all starting in a corner. And those middle positions, of course, are the worst, because in a free-for-all match you can be attacked from either side. So you don't know which way to go, and there's infantry trying to get into my base, but I had my infantry blocking those scouts, and now I've got 3 ore refineries down. I've also got a lot of ore trucks, and now I'm going to go for my 3rd war factory, and you can see my economy is absolutely booming. And yeah, I just need to sort of manage it at the moment. Once I get my 3rd war factory down, obviously that'll increase my tank building speed, so I'll be able to build more tanks. And I'm just going to send these tanks onto the ore. Now you have to be careful with your tanks on this map, or with all your units on this map, because they can start blocking each other. It's like one of the worst maps for getting congestion. If the AI actually plays on this map, what happens is they all become stuck with the ore trucks and everything, so you do have to be careful and keep an eye on those ore trucks and also where your tanks are placed. And you can see me going straight for the 4th war factory, so I'm going to have that down, and that's going to give me a really fast building speed. And I'm just going to build a power plant just to make sure I'm up on power. And now I've just noticed the orange have been defeated. So the first player has gone down in this game. And we have to decide who we're going to go for first. Now, I don't think I'm going to go for the player to my right because he's sort of in the middle. So I'm going to go for the player in the bottom left. And let's see how this goes. This is green. And you can see he's got quite a few heavy tanks. But I think I've got the better numbers for now. He's also got a really good economy going. So it's a good player to go for and try and get out at this early stage. And let's see if we can see how this goes. He's starting to bring missile launchers to the front, although they don't do very well against tanks. And now I've got my service depot, and that's going to be really important because I'm going to be wanting to build some extra MCVs. I've just decided to go for this attack really early on, and now you can see green going into my base, and we'll have to see what damage he's going to try and do to my base. He hasn't got that many tanks, though, so it's not too serious. I've also got my service depot down, so if he does destroy my MCV, I will be okay. And indeed, it is my MCV he's going for, trying to get that MCV kill. And I think I'm going to be able to defend against that okay. Now let's see what's going back at his base. And it seems like we're going to be able to take out some of his major structures. It looks like those ore trucks were, well, ore refineries were the only ore refineries he's got, because it seems his ore trucks have paused for the minute. And since his ore trucks have paused, I'm going to use this opportunity to start building some extra MCVs, because I've done a lot of damage to green, and you can see now he's bringing some tanks down. But it's not going to be enough, I don't think. There's one tank going around there, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure my base is defended for now. I'm getting these extra MCVs out, and it is really important you get these extra MCVs, because what they do is they allow you to build buildings a lot faster, so I will be able to build ore refineries really quickly, and I will be able to really boost my economy. And I do have to be careful now because my tanks are all in my base, and that's going to cause a bit of congestion, so I do need to get them out of there because my ore trucks are going to start getting stuck otherwise. Yeah, and you can just see my ore trucks trying to wander around there with nowhere to go. And yeah, now I've cleared them out, they're starting to be able to move again. And yeah, I'm just finding ways. You can see I'm having to just expand out onto that ore as much as possible. And what I'm also doing, and what is a good idea, is when you get new ore refineries, if you can, do try and redirect some of your ore trucks. You don't want all your ore trucks going to like the ore refineries at the back. You want a lot of them to be going to the ore refineries at the front, so they have less travel space. And now you can see I've got those MCVs up, so that's going to help me a lot. And you can see my economy is absolutely booming at the moment. And that's because I've actually had a little pause in building tanks there after I built my MCVs, which isn't ideal. But because I damaged green quite early on, you can see he's really struggling at the moment, and I'm going to have to go and finish him off because I'm going to be the first person he goes for if he does manage to build up. So we'll have to go down now. He's only got a few tanks, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to pose much of a defence. And now that I've got those MCVs down, I'm going to really start boosting up my economy. And you're going to see how much faster the building's built. And yeah, let's see this. This is looking good for us at the moment. Let's see what he decides to go for. I think he's actually moved some of those tanks around or something, so I think I might be getting some tanks at my base, but I'm not too worried at the moment. I'm also going to get an airfield so I can get paratroopers and spy plane, so I can get a bit more vision on different parts of the map. Yeah, you can see he's got some tanks over there, but I'm going to place the Tesla coil down, I think that'll be fine. And now you can see that green has been confined to his base. Construction complete. And yeah, it's pretty much over for green, but we have to look at who we're going to attack next after this. And you can see at the moment the player in the middle has been quite quiet, fortunately. And there's red, who's got a little bit of an army there, and green is now out of the game. So that's one player down, and I think there's 4 players left on this. Although we're going to have to be careful because one of those players is alone on the bottom of the map. So we're going to have to make sure we're going to have to carefully choose who we fight next. And yeah, you can see me just getting a bit of a wall of Tesla there. And because I don't know what's going on in the bottom of the map, I'm going to get a spy plane there and just see how the players are doing around that point. And you can see that's where yellow is, who was the host of this game. And you can see he's also in the bottom middle as well as the bottom right. So we've got a bit of information there. And I've also started building some more MCVs. And what I'm going to do with these MCVs is I'm going to move them to the bottom position of the map into the bottom left, because I've taken that position now. And I want to make use of it, so I'll get another load of MCVs down there, increase my building speed even further and also be able to get an economy set up there, because as you go through this game, what's really important is you keep on expanding. And you can see my tank army is pretty large at the moment. I just have to be careful because red he seems like he's quite strong. It seems like he's got quite a number of tanks, but he hasn't advanced yet, so hopefully we're going to be okay. But what I can see is that yellow and blue are getting very, very close to each other, and yellow's the host of this game, so I recognise the name, so I think he's going to be pretty decent. I think he was the one who defeated that first player, orange, at the start of the game. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to make sure that he doesn't get too strong. And what I've just seen is that yellow is going for that middle left position. So that's quite an aggressive move from yellow. I'm quite surprised he actually went there, because it's going to make him like a target for different players. And I'm going to need to move my tanks in there and get there quite quickly. I'm just trying to get this MCV placed so I can start placing my ore refineries. And yeah, you can see my MCV is a bit stuck there, but you can see yellow building some Tesla, and that's going to cause a few problems. He's also got a war factory there, and he's got quite a fast building speed. So as we develop our economy in the bottom, we're going to send our tanks in here. And my tanks are in an awful position, but I'm just going to have to keep on going because I need to get this base down very quickly. Otherwise, if I wait, group my tanks up, the problem is he's going to build more and more Tesla, and it's just going to become a real fortress, and it'll be very hard for us to get in. Also, you can see his tank numbers building quickly, but our tanks, we're just sending them in as fast as possible, and now you can see me deploying these MCVs in this bottom left position. But let's see what's going on here. We managed to take out that ore refinery, it looks like, and now our tanks are starting to get into the base. We're going to be able to take out the Tesla and the construction yard, and it looks like we're going to be able to deny yellow from that position, because that would be really spell trouble for us, because those Tesla coils would start firing on our ore trucks as we got further down the map and the ore started to become depleted. So this is an important part, and now I've got another war factory out that I'm building this good economy in the bottom left position. I'm also going to need to get this power plant down so it doesn't build any more Tesla, and now it's a fight between me and yellow, but I think, yeah, he's pulling back right now. And you can see blue there also. So we're going to have to see how this fight turns out. But I've got two extra war factories now at the bottom left of the map. So that's going to take me to 6 war factories in total. So I'm going to have a really mighty building speed. And I'm just, yeah, really developing my base in this bottom left, developing my economy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and push down now. I don't want to fight blue, because blue's got enough trouble. He's got red on the right hand side, and he's got yellow closing in on the bottom. So I don't think he's going to attack me as well, because he doesn't want to fight everyone in the game. So hopefully he won't provide too much trouble to me. And I think actually red and blue are actually fighting, so they're going to be having their fight. It's an ideal opportunity for us to have a fight with yellow while that's going on. So let's see how this fight goes on now. We're having a fight. You can see yellow's using a mixture of missile he had a couple of missile launches. I think that was to deal with any Tesla, but you can see now he's going mainly for heavy tanks. We does have some Tesla in his base. Is that going to try and tilt things? We're just trying to push forward for now. And it looks like we do have the better tank numbers, but we've got those 2 Tesla firing, and if they keep on firing, then it could change the course of this battle. And the problem with those Teslas are behind that cliff, so it makes it really hard for my tanks to get to them, so that cliff providing a little bit of protection. The Tesla is pretty well placed. And now you can see my tank forces are starting to get diminished. You can see that yellow does look like he has a slight upper hand at this point, and I might actually have to pull back from this because it doesn't look like it's going to go too well, and I don't want to keep on pushing forward and then allow yellow to get in a real good counter-attack. Having a bit of trouble placing my building there. Sometimes you get a bit of lag when you have lots of tank battles taking place all over the map, as there's one taking place with red and blue at the moment, but our fight is with yellow, and we're going to have to be able to take yellow out soon, I think. And yeah, what I'm doing is I'm pulling my tanks back, I'm regrouping, building my forces, and you can see it looks like yellow's going out for the fight here. This might be an ideal opportunity for me to try and take out most of his forces, and then if I can get in his base when most of his forces are depleted, I'll be able to get at those Tesla coils. And all the time, it's important for me to keep on building my economy. I'm now getting my 7th war factory because my economy is doing really well. So 7 war factories. I think I I think the most I usually get to is about 8 on this map. So now we're trying to push forwards, and now you can see his tank force has been depleted a little bit. We're going to go for those 2 Tesla. Let's see if we can take them out. They do go out, and this is going to put us in an ideal position. We do have the better tank numbers, and now Yellow doesn't have that Tesla helping him. The question is how good is Yellow's economy? How many war factories does he have? How many reinforcements are going to be coming in? But it seems like our tank numbers are better, and yes, it doesn't look like Yellow's going to have the production speed in order to keep up, so we're just going to have to keep on pushing. You can see I've actually spread to more map areas, I guess, than Yellow, and now we're just going to push back and start destroying those buildings. The thing is though, it looks like Blue is almost out of the game, so Red is destroyed him, and we might be in a fight with Red later on, so we do need to finish this fight ASAP. And you can see us taking there a couple of construction yards, so his structure building speed is going to be slower. There's 3 war factories in the back there, so once we take out those, hopefully his tank building speed will be reduced. And you can see I've actually gone to build some MCVs as well, because what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to take that middle bottom position. And what I'm doing here is I'm planning for the fight later on, because I do think later on I might lose that top left position base. And now we're going to push Yellow back, and I'm just going to have to find places to place this ore refinery. You can see us building some MCVs there, and I'm going to be taking them, as I said, to the bottom middle, just so I can build a stronghold there and get more map control for later on. And there you can see Red bringing some tanks in. I don't know if he's going for the attack on Yellow or not, or whether he's just trying to reposition his tanks, and it went a bit wrong. But now we've managed to get right into Yellow's the heart of his base, and I can't see that any way that Yellow can come back from this unless Red attacked me right now. But it looks like I'm okay for now. But we can see that Red's forces are positioned. It seems like he's reinforcing those positions. And now I'm getting this base built in the bottom middle. I'm going to start building ore refineries there. Just give me another stronghold to fall back up on. And now we're right here. We're destroying the last of Yellow's ore refineries. And yeah, they're going to go down. There's no way Yellow can come back from this. I'm going to soon need to turn my attention to Red, because he's going to be the threat. We just need to finish Yellow off ASAP, and Yellow has tapped out of the game. So you can see me rushing my tanks back to my base, and we're going to have to see where does Red decide to attack. He's got 3 big armies. He's got one in the top middle, he's got one right in the middle, and he's got one in the bottom right. And I've got my 8th war factory out. I'm also going to get my 9th war factory out now. And now we're going to go for an attack on this middle position, because what I want to do is I want to attack first. I don't want him to go for my bases with his other armies, but it looks like I'm too late, because you can see on my radar that top middle army is going towards my base in the top left position. And what I'm going to need to do is I'm just going to need to fight it out best I can, and just hopefully it's going to take him a while if he does destroy that base in the top left. And now we're having this fight. We can see he's got a mixture of missile launchers and heavy tanks, and I think he's overinvested in missile launchers, because you can see they're going down quite easily, and he's losing his tank force here. But you can see he's got another tank force going from me from the right, and now we're going to have to go back to this base. He's taken out some of my war factories, and those missile launchers doing a bit of damage, but I think he's got too many. I think he's got his army composition wrong. I think he should have nearly all heavy tanks and then a few missile launchers for the Tesla. But I think he's got it the wrong way around. But now we're bringing our tanks in. The problem is we're getting a bit of lag, which is why I'm a bit stationary. I can't select my tanks and place more Tesla. And this is what happens sometimes on this map when you get loads of units across the map. And we've got a battle in the bottom and a battle in the top left. And now I'm able to move a little bit more again. And you can see my tanks coming in, and I'm going to be able to clear that army up quite easily. And now I'm going to go to that top left position. You can see he's cleared a big portion of my base out. I've got some MCVs destroyed. You can see my ores just stacked up completely. And now he's going for my ore refineries in that position. So I'm going to be sending my tanks up there. And I'm going to be getting another radar dome down so I can see what's going on. But we can see that he's up in that top left position, and we're just sending all our tanks up there. He has got mostly missile launchers, which will be quite easy to take out, but he has got some heavy tanks in addition there. So let's see how this goes. Now we're getting our tank numbers up here. He's still going for buildings. He's got going for those ore refineries. I'm trying to replace them and keep ore refineries placed down at the bottom. I don't want the ore refineries going to the other parts of the map. Although I can't place any in this top left position at the moment because there's just too many tanks all around. But you can see those heavy tanks coming in, and now he's switched to just building heavies. As I say, I think his army should have been composed mostly of heavy tanks before. So now there's a big fight here, but you can see I've got the much bigger army, and he seems to be still trying to go for the structures, which is a bit crazy at this point because he's losing all his tank forces, trying to get to those ore refineries. And even if there's only 2 left, but even if those ore refineries do go down, it's not gonna be the end of the world for me because I've got bases stationed at other parts of the map. And now I'm just going to leave a few tanks back here, and I'm going to send in my main tank force back to his base. And you can see I've just placed some of those, a couple of other ore refineries in this top right position, just to make sure I still have ore refineries there so that my ore trucks don't start trying to go to the other parts of my base. And now we're trying to get into red space. You can see he doesn't have much to defend with, and it looks like it's going to be pretty much over. And now I'm going to build those war factories. You can see I've stacked up a whole ton of ore. I'm on like 40 plus K, which is absolutely crazy, but it's because I lost those war factories in the start of Red's fight, and I was placing those extra ore refineries just to keep ore refineries in the top left position. But now I'm going to be able to build up these war factory numbers once again. And now we're going to be able to get in a MCV deployed near red space. Just make sure we have complete map control. I'll put an ore refinery out there just to, start taking some ore from red. But you can see that red, there's absolutely no way he's going to come back. And I'm sort of like doing a bit of a Tesla crawl now into his base. Those Tesla are going to be taking out some of his ore trucks. And you can see he doesn't have much to defend with. He's confined to this top right position. So quite a tough game, some hard tank battles. I think probably the winning point for me was trying to go for yellow quite early on, while blue and red fought it out. Because I do think yellow was the main threat, and I think if I had got in a fight with blue and red on my side of the map, I think then yellow would have built into an unbeatable position and I wouldn't have been able to take him out late in the game. I think red, the mistake he's made, and the mistake he's making now, is building missile launchers. Missile launchers and tanks can work well if you're going against Tesla and tanks, but in like all-out tank battles, I think missile launchers are very underpowered. They get destroyed too easily. So I think that was a bit of a mistake. I think if red had gone for more heavy tanks, maybe kept like a big main force, gone for an attack on me like when I attacked at the end, and then just took a few like units to the top left, I think that would have worked a lot better for him. But as I say, I think his composition was wrong. I think he had far too many missile launchers there and would have been a lot better with heavy tanks, which are the preferred unit on this map for these big tank battles. And you can see we've pretty much wiped it up. I think he's just got a couple of structures left. But yeah, overall a hard fight, and it was just by carefully choosing who I attacked at what point. I think that's what helped me in this game a lot. And there you can see it's over. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.